Hey backpackers, this is Juan from Juan Backpacks. Today I want to bring you a product review. So this piece of gear is the Hyperlite Mountain Gear REpack. What is it? Well, it's basically a food warmer. It helps you keep your food warm while it's hydrating. Why is it called the REpack? Well, because sometimes as backpackers, we repack our food into freezer bags so that we don't have to carry the original packaging. That's really important. Like when I did the thru hike of the John Muir Trail, I had to carry 7 or more days of food sometimes in my bear can, and you just can't carry packaged food that's from the kind of the way it comes into the store or when you order it online. You've got to take it out of those packs in order to save room in your bear can so you can carry more food. Also, a lot of times repackaging food allows you to divvy it out better, and then allows you to actually cut your weight in many other ways. So I love repackaging my food because it uses less space in my pack, and because a lot of times when I repackage, I can measure out the amounts I want and then basically just put them in a smaller kind of package and have what I need to eat when I'm in the field. The other thing that you do when you do freezer bag cooking is that you don't cook in your pot. I hate cleaning out my pot. And so I'm always looking for ways not to have to do that. And so by putting my dehydrated food in freezer bags and then just dumping the boiling water in here like you would with a Mountain House meal or something like that, it keeps you from having to clean out your pot. All you've got is basically boiled water in your pot. So the REpack, right here it is. This REpack is 1.6 ounces. It retails for around $45. It's a little bit salty for what it is. The Dyneema also inside of it, you can tell there's a layer of insulation in there. And so when you put something in here, it really does keep it hot and or warm for extended period of time. It's a really simple design. It's just almost like a little pocketbook, right? You basically open up using the clip here, and then you would pour your hot water into the freezer bag, whatever the amount needed for whatever you had in here to hydrate. Then you would put that in here along with the water. Sometimes I actually put it in here first and then open it up, pour the water in, just so it's already in here, and I don't have to deal with the hot package. And so you would then fold it over like this, and then you could clip this down and just kind of set it aside. It's got a flat bottom here, so I set it aside. It doesn't do so good when there's not like a full water, in there. It doesn't sit up right, but when it's full with water, it usually sits up just fine. So I set it aside, and then I just can go about my business. Maybe I make some hot coffee, something like that, and then I just enjoy that for 5 or 10 minutes till my food is rehydrated. Once I get to this point, I can bring it over, unclip it, and actually the tricky thing about this is I can come back across it underneath again and clip it going the opposite direction. If I can get that right. And then I can actually use this for like a little handle. And if it's cold out, it's a hand warmer too, because your hot food's in there. And then all I do is once this food is hydrated, I'll open this up. Just like any other dehydrated meal, I can just start eating. And so it's a really slick, easy product. It's really effective in terms of hydrating food and keeping it warm. It's excellent. I don't see how you would do any better given the weight of 1.6 ounces. And it's very convenient. I think some of the pros of the Hyperlite that I've found as I'm using it, and I haven't used it in actual backpacking yet, but I've used it a bunch of times day packing into fly fish. And I usually cook a meal while I'm out there because it's usually when I'm packing in for a day, I'm usually taking food with me. And so I have used it to make quite a few meals, and it works great. It keeps the food warm or hot, and it functions the way you'd want it to function. It is easy to clean off if you spill food on it because it's Dyneema, and so you can just rinse it off, or you can just use a rag to wipe it all out, wipe the food out and clean it out. And so it wipes down really easy. It doesn't, maintain the food. It just kind of, it doesn't soak into the material or anything like that because it is Dyneema. It seems like it's going to be pretty durable. It seems like it's well made. I've used it in the field a number of times, and so I haven't seen any fraying in the stitching or anything that's alarming about wear and tear on it. and I've probably used it for 5 or 6 different trips out, and I usually throw it in my day pack, my fly fishing day pack. The cool thing about this, like, you know, so it functions the way it should function. So I definitely give it good marks there. The other pros of this is, from a backpacking standpoint, is you can sometimes make these out of Reflectix, these little heaters, you know what I mean, like pockets to put your hydrated food in. But the problem with that is that they tend to be stiffer, and so it's harder to fold them down into a small compact size. And with this, because it's Dyneema, you can get it down to about this size. You're kind of limited by the piece of hard, whatever plastic they have on the bottom here. So you just kind of use that to kind of guide you in folding it. And so basically I can fold it up into something like this, a few inches, about a 1/2 inch thick. And then I can stuff it down into like different areas of my pack, or on the mesh front pocket. I like it too because I had a hard time getting my Reflectix heater like this into my bear can, and this is so small that I can literally just lay it on top of the food once there's room in the bear can, and it's perfectly fine. Or if I need to, I could fold it just like I showed you, get it down to a smaller size and stuff it in the bear can in an open spot. So I like it because it can be, the form factor is a lot smaller than Reflectix or some of the other DIY opportunity, or some of the other DIY things I've seen made by other individuals. So I really like the REpack. It's a very simple piece of gear, but again, it keeps me from having to clean out my pot. It keeps my food warm and hot, or hot while it's rehydrating. And it doesn't add a lot of weight, as a matter of fact, because now that I'm not having to cook in my pot, I can dump water out of my pot and just drink my coffee out of my pot. Don't need a mug anymore because it's easy just to rinse the coffee out of it's easier than washing, right? And so it's easy just to rinse the coffee out of my pot. And so it really reduced a piece of equipment I had to take to drink coffee in. So overall, it was a good buy. It's a great product. It does what it says. It may or may not be worth it to you. Like I said, I'm just not into cooking my pot. I'll do it if I have to, but I try to avoid it at all costs. And this definitely has helped me do that really efficiently. So that's the Hyperlite Mountain Gear REpack. If you have any questions about the REpack and my use of the REpack, or if you want to make some comments about your experience with REpack, definitely make some comments down below. Until next time, get out there and do some hiking and some backpacking and see something cool. Later, folks.